for it. I guess I don't really need these. Okay, and get this link. Announcements at everyone. Friday micro stream modeling Paris in Blender. Bada bing, bada boom. Yep. Okay. And then let's pop out the chat. Cool, 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 cool. And we want this. Let's go to Paris. Cool. And I guess I'm gonna make a new. Let's see. All right, gonna make a new file. This is here. Let me unplug this shit. It's gonna get in my way. So a lot of Paris was modeled in, I want to say like 2019, like maybe 2020, I think. But here, I also don't want this getting in the way. One sec. There we go, something like that. A lot of Paris was modeled like basically a long time ago. It was the first city that I started actually building out like pretty proper. And it's actually, a lot of it is in Cinema 4D. So I'm gonna have to launch Cinema to get my old files in there. Or actually, I can't even do that. What I need to do is open, geez. I'm gonna have to open Unity to get, let's see, Memories of a Spy, get repo. Okay. Wow, this is gonna be a blast from the past right now. So originally the assets of Memories, or the environmental assets of Memories of a Spy were built in Cinema 4D as modular pieces that I could then go into Unity and snap together like Legos to create the environment. So that means that there was like a piece of wall that was just like one little chunk of wall, and it would be for inside, or there would be an outside wall piece. There was different types of wall piece designs, and they were all similar enough dimensions where they could snap with each other and you could build a building out of them. And that way it was a sort of quick iteration process that I can get through, and nothing was very like, building the geometry for a building is a very like permanent, currently it's been a very permanent like method. Like, I model the size of the building and it's just like that. And I have to go in and change the actual geometry of it to change anything. Whereas before, when I was using the modular pieces, it was like, oh, I could take a few pieces out, or I could add a few pieces or something like that. So there was a sort of ease of use thing that was really nice. But the problem is that if all those pieces are being rendered as separate game objects, then you have a kind of a taxing system. So if I go to, let's see if I can remember how, okay, so in environment, we have Paris, and I'll focus in on that, and there's Paris. We'll get like, let's see, the Café Oubli, the coffee forgets. Okay, so here is Paris. This is what Paris, you guys have seen this for a long time. Even back in like the first streams, this is where I used to hang out and like do most of the testing, because it was the only environment that I could kind of have like a nice setup. I even remember having these lights set up. So if I select these lights, let's see, how come I'm not selecting this guy? Here we go. Does this have anything? Street lamp base, street lamp pole, street lamp head, point light. Here we go. Look at Tony Hamilton, eyes. What's up, Tony Hamilton? This is the old project. This is my Unity 2019.4.8 F1 Memories of a Spy. This project is so old that it even has the original prototype stuff in it. When I was using like just grid boxes for everything, back when DistractoBot was a feature. And there was like a grappling hook and all that kind of good stuff. But here we have a little light FSM, and let me see, what do we got? Wait for build, so it waits for the player to be built. And this was when I was using bool tests as a sort of initialization method. Get city schedule, so it finds the city that we're in, finds out the city schedule if the lights are on. This is so trippy. This is so strange. Lights out, lights off. I don't know if I'd do it the same way. I feel like I wouldn't be doing it like this at all. Okay. I think, anyways, I just wanted to take a look at that. What I'm here for is to collect, or to see if anything is actually even worth collecting. I might go as far as to say, well, I don't know, I might want to keep these stairs. So a lot of this stuff was built out in a pretty good way. Like even, you know, you go inside these apartments and, you know, I do like the layout. I don't want to lose all this work. But also if it's easy enough to replicate, I honestly might just change it. So you see, like, right now, the way I've been modeling things, both in Cinema 4D and in Blender, I would have modeled this whole hallway as like one big chunk of geometry, right? This big wall. But back in the day, the way I was doing things, if I open this up, these are separate pieces. Look at that. You can move this wall. Oh my God, Unity is lagging so hard. There we go. So I can move that, and I can move that. You see, these are all very modular. Don't want to do that. So the thing too is, it's not even just that we're drawing all the meshes, all these separate meshes of separate game objects. Like that is a reason to make Unity start slowing down. That's a very inefficient way of doing things. But on top of that, each of these wall pieces has a box collider. So all these colliders are also running the entire time. And when I say running the entire time, it's just that like they're touching things next to each other, and just like having a ton of colliders is not friendly. I don't know the exact logic behind you know, how to keep your physics and collision matrix all cleaned up if you have a bunch of colliders, but I know that generally speaking, it's not good practice to have a ton of colliders that make up like a single wall. It would be so much more, it'd be so much less taxing to make this whole wall a single collider. So there's a lot of interesting things that need to be done here. Now, there are assets and even, I'm sure, free scripts that you can get on GitHub and stuff that combined separate game objects. That can do kind of like a thing where you tell it, okay, take all these meshes, turn them into a single mesh, and give them a single collider. But this is just, it's there's no such thing as a free lunch. You know, that would itself, that process itself also takes work. So what I'm looking to do is to model these apartments and all of Paris the way all of my in-game Paris, not obviously not the whole city, but to model everything that I did here as a single piece. You know, kind of like this cafe. This cafe is actually closer to the modeling process because the whole building, instead of being made up of separate pieces, it itself is one big piece, right? Like I even went inside, I have to like remap all these UVs, like holy shit. But at least this place is a single piece, and it could be used to create fewer, or at least one big simple collider mesh, maybe. Some prototype assets sitting around here. I do like these trees. I could probably end up taking at least the sort of schematic of the city. At the very least. This whole stretch was never anything. This is excess right here. I always figured I'd be getting it. Human Goose says hi. What's up, Human Goose? How's it going? Have you been in here before? I don't think I've seen you. What brings you here, Human Goose? So I think, yeah, a lot of this stuff too, I could probably just tear straight from a Cinema 4D package if I export as a big package and drop them into Blender. So if I right click this and let's see, select prefab, prefab root. What is it again? Select prefab asset. Here we go. So right here, you could see that this is these prefabs, all these wall pieces I made. If I drag this in, that's a wall piece that could then be used to create the exterior. Another problem with all this stuff too was that creating textures for them was a little problematic. Human Goose says, I have been here before, but not for very long, sadly. Oh, not sadly. You can come and go as you please. Glad to have you here today. I'm going to be popping in to Blender in a second. Maybe, let's see. Yeah, so you'll see me doing some Blender stuff in just a moment. I'm only taking a look around here to assess how I should actually go about preserving my work in the past, as opposed to just throwing all this shit out, you know, because that'd be a little too easy to do. Okay. Okay. I think if I select these pieces and then I go to show in Explorer. Okay, so that's the prefab. But what about the mesh? Where is it? Here we go. So the mesh itself comes from where is it? Right here. Paris Apartment FBX. Paris Apartment Finals Collection. So if I select this and show in Explorer, there it is. So I have this FBX that has, hopefully, we'll see. Let's drag and drop this in here. Or actually, fucking Blender cannot drag and drop. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy that and I'm just going to paste it on my desktop really quick. And then we'll import this. So import FBX, grab it from my desktop. There it is. Okay, import that. Frank Reynolds, good evening. How's it going, Frank? Good evening indeed. Oh man, I am starving right now. I'm just trying to get in a quick session to have the Blender file set up for Paris stuff, so I can just kind of hop back in the stream later and kind of get right to it. Because right now I've been dreading working on the next city, knowing that I have to set up the Blender file for it with all this other. I mean, see, like, needless to say, these things did not import well. You know, like they're missing all their textures. Or actually, are they maybe, how about this? Yes! Okay, never mind. This is okay, this is much better. Usually Blender does perform so poorly when importing and exporting shit. Okay, great. A lot of this stuff is looking really good. I'm gonna turn off some of these settings. Don't need specular lighting. Gonna do that. Viewport style. Flat. Even better for me, thank you. And let's see how I'm gonna put this over here now that we're in Blender. This. What else do I want to do? Change all this extras, relationship line, bones, motion path. Okay, we can keep that. I think that's good. This is what I want. Oh, but you know what? I need to go to UV editing and do the same thing. Texture, viewport, flat. and then turn these off again. Okay, looking good. Because most of the work I do, it's like, I don't know why I would ever be in the layout mode. I always have UVs open. Look at all this shit. All this stuff that I never got around to importing either. A lot of unused work here. Why can't I just select this? What the fuck's going on? Oh, we're in edit mode, that's why. There we go. Ah, yes, the mailbox. So stoked to put this to use. What else? Wait, hold on, were these? Huh, that's funny. Would have been a different design decision these days. Okay, all these books, which for some reason never imported properly to Unity. They always had weird face problems. Let's try face orientation. Yeah, it's so weird that they didn't show up in Unity. There was like a really weird glitch where my books were not rendering properly. Super weird. Okay. There's that. I'm probably going to redo those books. I'll use the same texture, but I'll redo the book models. Probably going to be taking a lot of the materials. I'll append materials to kind of keep some tidy organization thing. Because in the past, it was really like I would create a whole new material for like something else in a different project. And that means that even if it was like the same thing, right? Like this tungsten light, even if other lights had that similar tungsten setup, or even if it was the same settings, if I made it in a separate project and then imported it in Unity, the light from one project and the light from the other project would come into Unity and they would have their own separate materials. And so there'd be all these redundancies. There'd be like 2 tungsten materials. It was very sloppy. And, you know, it's going to happen with the current setup as well, but I want to, you know, prevent it from happening as much as I can. Frank Reynolds says, experimenting with small explosions in Blender. I'm also working on putting bullet holes in my plane. How are you going about doing the bullet holes? Are they sort of are they actually are you actually changing geometry, or are your bullet holes like PBR stuff? Like, are they doing is it all trickery with textures? Human Goose says, wasn't there a game you made for an X, or am I tripping? Yeah, it was that dog piss game. It was a game where you have to clean up your dog's piss as fast as you can, while you also write your thesis paper. Yeah, that's me. That was, I think, yeah, that was the first ever game that like I finished and shipped. Which is still available to play on itch right now. And it's stable-ish. You could play it from top to bottom. Okay, so there's also Damonus22. Yo, what's up, Luca? I was half listening and I hear that shit. I have to hit these show buttons. Yeah. The only problem with that game is that the mouse controls were way too sensitive. I think. Did I ever patch that? I don't know if I patched it or not. I remember watching that video but couldn't find it anymore, so I was wondering. Yeah, it's in there. It's how to make an FPS in 8 hours, I believe. I think that's what the gist is. I've often thought about renaming it, or I don't know. Because I was like, why doesn't this video perform as well? Or actually, does it? It does perform well. The one before it didn't. The one where I made the disco game wasn't. I always wondered why that video didn't perform well. I thought that was a fun video, but people weren't very into it. Okay, so look how crazy this is. Look at this old method. This is so stupid. I had this wall piece where it's like it's only one-sided, right? It has this lip on one side, and then this other wall piece where it's like, you know, it has the lip on both sides. Like, this is madness. So many, just like it helps, and I know you could do games like this and people do, but imagine doing that for fucking everything. Okay, so I think man, I think I'm already really good to go with this. I could probably change some of these textures. This is back. Even this looks pretty good still. I should definitely use that method to texture stuff. That's cool. I like that a lot. The cafe is looking okay. Let me see. What would help is seeing some wireframe in this bitch. There we go. Yeah. So I think, let's take a look at the normals really quick. Face orientation. Yeah, even the normals are looking pretty good in here. So I could still use this place. This was such a pain in the ass to build. I'm sure there was probably a better way that I could have done it, but I just, yeah. Frank Reynolds says, I'm going to cheat and use PBR for the bullet holes. I thought of messing with the geometry, but then I decided not to be a masochist. Right. You got to love yourself sometimes. It just makes sense. Let's see. No, face orientation. All right. Tony Hamilton says, I need a tutorial on how to use Feel with Playmaker. Oh, Tony Hamilton, by the way, I did take your advice on the PayPal donate button, and now there's a donate button. It should be in the description of this video, as well as the header of my channel. So if you're ever feeling so inclined, now it's available. Thank you very much for that idea. I don't know. I'm probably missing out on a lot of things that I should be doing with my channel, but slowly but surely. On how to use Feel with Playmaker, does Feel have, let's see. It's on the front page, isn't it? Somewhere in here. Peak, whatever. Let's see. Feel. Does it come with, whatchamacallit, Playmaker actions? Have you searched goody goody and no problem? I need to, have you, find nothing with Playmaker, huh? So when you do use this, are you using a bunch of like get and set property actions? Ideally, man, I'm maybe next weekend is when I could start testing out making Playmaker stuff that essentially give you similar functionality to Feel. I'll have to actually look at the engine too, because I haven't used it myself. But it's kind of funny because like even looking at some of the, when you pause it on here, like let me see. Right, like let's see what we have here. Jumper script, jump curve, cooldown duration, jump feedback. You know, you get all this stuff in Playmaker too, being able to like, what do we got? It's a vector 2, a curve, a float, and a script, which I guess would just be another FSM kind of thing. Their top-down engine supports it. When I look at the tutorial, they use Visual Studio to enable the feedback. Right. I mean, you could use get and set property stuff. 100 feedbacks, loopers, particle play, vignette, flicker, material, fog. I mean, it's kind of funny because I don't know what the deal is with this fog one, but there is like, you know, actions that are just straight up like enable, disable fog and stuff like that. That looks nice and crunchy and juicy simultaneously. It helps too that the team behind this actually recognizes fundamentals in animation, because that's mostly what this is about, right? Kind of like understanding animation stuff. I have a background in animation. Maybe I can help supply some of this kind of stuff. Yeah, I'll try whipping something up soon. Maybe not necessarily to mess with Feel, because I don't own Feel and I don't plan on owning it. potentially some way to tutorialize the same effects. Okay, so sorry, got distracted. We have the cafe here, got these pylons. What else? What else? I think that's it. Oh, the staircase. Where's the staircase at? Here we go. And the staircase, I think, is also good to go. I could just duplicate that and combine the mesh in the end. So what I'll do is I'm going to save this in levels. I'm going to save it in a new folder. How do you create a new folder in here? Right here. We'll call this Paris. And this will be Paris. Save. Ooh, you hear my stomach? I'm fucking hungry right now. Okay, so this is going to be the Paris folder. Let's give myself n view 24. Okay. And I should use this method for the other trees. This came out really nice. Really good impression of a tree. And let's turn off wireframe for a sec. Yeah. I might change the UV mapping on this just a little bit. Okay. No, that's all good. Okay. Thanks for the tips. I'm gonna have to play with it in the event section of Playmaker. Yeah, I don't have, do I have, oh, do I have a, yeah, so check, while this is open, I may as well just show you something. So it's like, if I create an empty, add an FSM to it, having stuff like your, like, what can I add a component? What's a component that you wouldn't like associate with? I'll just add like a character controller, right? So let's say this character controller is a component that field gives you. So there's no actions that modify it directly, and what you could do instead is just drag and drop it into where you put your actions, and then use set property or get property. There might even be these little sub menus which will automatically give things to you. So you can do set property, and then in this property, it'll give you a list of all the things that are in that component, all the things that you can modify from that component. Sometimes they're not completely obvious where they're hidden, and actually since these are named off of the API, that's the stuff that's in the background, that means that they kind of have different names from what you actually see here in the value. So this slope limit, that's named the same thing, but you could see it's spelled differently. It looks like for the most part though, a lot of these things are exposed as something pretty obvious. But that's just something for you to know, is that if you're using get and set property, that sometimes you have to dig through some of these little sub menus to find the right thing. But for example, like if I wanted to change the height of my character controller, I could select that, and then now it gives me this float value. And now you could use Playmaker to change that component, even though there isn't actually an action for that component. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what you might want to do. I guess also what I'm gonna do right now is I could take, this one's tough. I could take Paris level Parisian apartment. I honestly think what I'm gonna have to do is just use this as a reference and start from scratch. Yeah. Thanks, gonna try it tonight. Right on. Yeah, give it a whirl. Get and set property are very useful. I rarely use them because there's actually hardly ever anything that Playmaker doesn't have actions for that I use personally. It's just when you start tacking on all these other assets, when people have this super hodgepodge of third-party things, it's not all of them will support Playmaker. So what you have to do is, that's a good thing. It's like not all assets support Playmaker, but Playmaker supports all assets, if that makes sense. Yeah, because I can't come in here and take this. Like, let's pop over here. Oh, and what I'm realizing is, yeah, like where's the ground piece at? Gesundheit. Everything's activated. But see this floor piece? What's interesting is that I use the same floor piece, I just changed the materials in here. So it's still floor, but it has it has the sidewalk texture on it. So, okay, I'm learning my lesson here. Materials. Let's see, where is that sidewalk? Okay, sidewalk texture. I guess I can also come in here and check my materials. Is sidewalk in here? Nope, it is not. So I'll have to get sidewalk in there. Is there anything else missing from this? All the walls, all the furniture, the tree, the street lamp, all those are looking good. Yeah, it looks like maybe I'll just have to import let's take it, let's grab this thing. There it is. Let's see, where is it? Show and explore. Mastifu says, yo, Steven, what's up, man? What's up, Mastifu? What's going on? How you doing? I'm over here trying to, like, salvage assets from the original build of Paris in Memories of a Spy to redo it in Blender in a way that makes way more sense, because my systemic plans turned out to be a bit much. Okay, so I'm gonna take these, I'm gonna yoink and doink them. I'm gonna copy these bad boys, and then I'm gonna put them in universal textures, I guess. I'm just gonna paste them in here really quick. Okay. I'll know that they're there. Oh, patterns, I could put this in patterns. Come on. I should have just cut and pasted it. Patterns, sure. Cool. Anything else? Am I missing anything else? That is wise. It is something that I should have done a long time ago. Should have did a long time ago. Oh look, the torture room. Remember this? Damn, remember how fucking wild that was when I got the torture system, or the catch part of it all set up? That was so dope. I can't wait to get back to programming stuff. I was already in such a really good place. This is just gonna get so souped out. I think that's it. I think that's everything that I need to import. I think that's kind of my little micro stream for today, because I'm starving and it's the weekend. I might pop on the stream later. Remember when people used to deliver packages right there? They're gonna be doing it again, baby. They're gonna be doing it a whole lot more too. Yeah, I think that's where I call it. So I'm gonna save this. Maybe that wasn't wise. Close it. And this Blender file get comfortable. But we're going to try to knock this out. Let's see, what's the date today? Please give me a... Oh, yes, it's not even the 20th. November 19th. So I would love to wrap this up within the next week or so. Place your bets, because my intentions are to finish up Paris by... Let's see, let's put a date on this, Mamma Jamma. By the day after Thanksgiving, right? So Thanksgiving's on the 25th. Native American Heritage Day. I like that. So let's see if we can wrap this up, because then I will be 3 cities deep. I will have hit the halfway point. So DC is where I'd pretty much like it to be right now. London is where I'd like it to be right now. Paris, all this work is already done for me. It's still going to require a lot of work to revamp it, but so much work is done for me already. And if I can get that done within the week or so, that puts us at the halfway point. Was that? I was there for most of the stream. Let's go. Yeah. Most of the stream, the torture stuff, that was so fun. I cannot wait to get back to that stuff. Consistency and progress, baby. Ooh, yeah, I don't got no beef to show off, but yeah, right on. That's exactly what it is, consistency and progress. So yeah, DC, London, Paris, let's have them wrapped up before December, because in December, it would be really cool to go into like crazy super grind mode. The dude I've been working with, who's making all these assets, so you should check it out here. Let me show you a little something. Let me see. Let's fire up another Blender really quick. I'm this close to splitting right now. But DC, Paris. Where the fuck did London go? I'll just show you from these things. Let me see. Up, London. So check this shit out. My dude, he is, let me see, I can share his, let's pop over to Twitter. And I'm just gonna put this on my pretty little face really quick so I can make sure that I'm going through the right messages. Here we go. This is what I want to show you. There we go. This. So, actually, I don't know if this is his personal one or not, but this is what he messaged me from. I guess you can call him Studio Tubinar. In my head, I always think of Stiltskin. That's what he goes by on Discord. I will get the preferred name that he chooses to go by. I'm also assuming gender right now, which, apologies. So they, whatever they identify as, are really fucking good at just cranking out like simple low poly models and stuff. And also their game looks pretty rad. So here's a little shout to the game that they're working on. It's got basically a fire game. But so this is them, Studio Tubinar, and they've been helping me crank out some of the models. So I send them the reference images. I have this spreadsheet set up. Each of these tabs is for a different city. And then I have the asset names, dish tub, serving tray, refrigerator, whatever. And then I have a link that goes to the image that I found that best represents it. So like, for example, in this room, to model some of these things, and like, look how cool this shit is to model the slam. You know, and for the most part, like, we've been able to communicate really well, and like, there's very few things that I need to change. Models them, I texture them. I make a few changes, like to the slam, like he gave me a double-sided, like the polys on the other side of this, but just the way that I have lights and stuff set up, I just use polys. Sometimes I change like the size of things, like he made this toilet for the most part. You know, I come in, I texture it, and then I like put it next to something, and I'm like, all right, so this thing needed to be bigger, so I moved it up so change the shape and size of it. This also used to be a cylinder that just came down. I changed it to some poly, put a texture on it. Really minute adjustments to his models. But it helps so much that he gives me the thing that will like often 100% mark just done. Like this chair, this one just actually no, this chair also needs to be too. But like for the most part, it's like the whole thing is there, and I come in and I tweak it, and that is a game changer for me. Like so much stuff. I hear your music. Is there music playing? Oh shit! Was that playing? Oh my god! Sorry. The music is overtaking you. Sorry. I didn't realize that there was a thing playing. My bad. All I was saying was that the dude is really good at modeling, and the process has been, he gives me a model, and it's like mostly done. I make some adjustments. I come in, I tweak some of the geometry. For a lot of them, though, I don't change anything. But I was saying that for this lamp, I took out the backside of it. For this chair, like I come in and I adjust the size of some of the cushions. For the toilet, I come in and adjust the size of this or the shape of it. I change this from a cylinder to a chain instead. And then I come in and I texture all of the things. So he models it, I tweak it, I texture it. And that's just, and I was saying it's a game changer. Totally like speeds up the process, and it gives me hope that that the assets could be mostly pretty finished by the end of this year, if he chooses to continue working with me. We're in the middle of a little month trial right now. He volunteered his time, and yeah, it says, "Do you have a license for these guns?" For these guns. What guns? Oh, these guns. These ones? I love this kind of music, kind of synthwave. Was that what was playing? It's not still playing anymore, is it? I think it's over. Right, there's nothing else. Okay. But we can barely hear you with it on. Is it still on? I don't hear anything. No, it stopped? Okay, good. But yeah, check that shit out. I'm fucking stoked on working with this dude. I hope he is down to keep working with me. You know, he's got plenty of other things that he could end up becoming preoccupied with, so not totally banking on it, but hoping for it. All right, so I think that's kind of just the last little update of where things are standing, and that's all I want to say. So Paris is up next. We're gonna wrap it up, get the halfway point done. And if this dude wants to help me crank out this stuff for the following month, then we might be able to get Berlin, Morocco, and Moscow done. But those are big ones, especially Morocco. Morocco is, I mean, I closed Unity, but Morocco's a fucking beast. There's so much density. There's like a lot of rooms and shit. Oh, I was 2 mins on the stream too late. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hit that little live button. Okay. Stomach's growling, getting a headache, getting foggy. I gotta hop off this. So thanks everybody who stopped by. It's a little micro stream. How much again? Like 45 minutes. That's chill. This is good. I'll hop on again this weekend, and I'll actually do some proper modeling stuff for Paris. So take care of yourselves. Get some good sleep. Get some exercise. Stay hydrated. Don't eat too much. Don't eat too little. Make sure you're spending time with the people you love, your friends and family. Get in a phone call if you can't see them face to face, but do try to get in the face to face. Millions of years of evolution has definitely sort of painted you into the corner of like actually biologically reacting to being in the physical presence of someone. So don't discount that. Don't discount actually being in the same room with somebody. It's really good for your mental health, even if you identify as antisocial or introvert. Unless you're just a psycho. Maybe you're a total lunatic. I don't know. Anyways, take care of yourself. Thanks everybody who swung by. All right. Peace. Oh, wait. Hold on. Not yet. Go check out I have a link to the Metroidvania course. If you haven't bought it, use the code Black Friday and you'll get 20% off. So if you don't have the Metroidvania course, you can snatch it up for 20% off right now. 25 people? There's 25. A few people have bought it already. So it's like there's only 25 of those coupons left. So get them while they're hot. All right. Peace.